Hi guys, and welcome back to Our Abundant Life. Today we are going to do a homeschool Q and A video, and we have our two oldest kids here because they know all about homeschooling. This is
Lily.
And how old are you?
7.
And this is
Oren.
And how old are you, Oren?
8.
He's almost 9. It'll be his birthday in a couple of weeks. Alright, so we asked on our Facebook page and on our Instagram page for questions about homeschooling that you had. And so we wrote them all down and we put them in this hat. So we're just going to pick them out and we will answer them the best that we can. Alright, you want to go first, Lee? Pick one out. Alright, it says, oh, this is a good one. Why did you choose to homeschool and what are the pros and cons? Alright, why did we choose to homeschool? I think I'd always kind of wanted to homeschool. It had always been something that I'd thought about. And as the time got closer to when Oren was going to go to school, I didn't think he was quite academically ready to go to school. He wasn't counting properly, and yeah, he just wasn't doing all those things that I thought that a 5-year-old should be able to do. So we started homeschooling, and I also didn't like the schools that we were zoned to go to as well. Yeah,
I think as well. I remember you telling me about when you were doing your placement for university for studying when you were studying to be a teacher.
Yeah.
That you saw how difficult it can be within the classroom for the teachers to get through the things that they need to get to. Obviously, there's so many kids in the class, and you know, the children are at different levels.
I could see all the
make it a bit difficult.
I could see all the kids like slipping, like where the kids were slipping through the cracks, and the teacher, she just wasn't able to give all the kids the attention that they needed. And so I thought, well, I'm at home anyway, and I can give my child the one-on-one attention that I felt that he needed at that time. And it worked out really well, so that's why we continued. All right, what are the pros and cons of homeschooling, do we think? All right, Lily, what's your favorite thing about homeschooling?
That we don't have to walk or drive there.
We don't have to walk or drive to school, all right? All right, Oren, what's your favorite thing about homeschool?
That we can stay home, we can have more free time than public schoolers.
Yeah, you like your free time?
Yeah.
Yeah. One of the pros for me is that the kids can go at their own speed. If they need more time to master a concept or a skill, then they can spend the extra time on it. If they already have mastered the skill or what you're trying to teach them, they can move on faster. We have found that to be really, really beneficial for our kids, and they have exceeded our expectations in so many ways by just letting them go at their own speed.
I think another thing that has been good from my point of view is that I'm able to see the kids a lot more. Spend a bit more time with them in the mornings, especially as I work in the afternoons. Not necessarily a whole lot of schoolwork gets done in the morning, but they're still here and get to see them and occasionally do little things with them before I go to work. Yeah.
Definitely the amount of time that we're able to spend together is a huge bonus for us. We're able to incorporate our faith into our school day, which is really important to us because our faith is such a huge part of who we are, and we enjoy being able to make that a part of their lives so easily and efficiently. Spending a lot of time with our kids because we like them. They're cool. They're fun people to be around. Probably one of the biggest con for me, and I don't find too many cons for the kids, but for me, it is having that huge responsibility of being the person who is responsible for my children's education. It's a big weight to bear, but the longer that I homeschool, the easier it becomes and the less that I worry about that. Also, not getting to be around adults as much as I probably would like. Excuse me. I think it's important that if you're going to homeschool, that you prioritize some time for yourself and to make sure that you have some self-care things going on so you don't get burnt out. One of the things we did just yesterday actually is the kids have lots of really good friends that we've met through homeschool, and so last night all their parents and us and their parents, we all went out, everyone got babysitters, and we had a night out on the town which ended at 9:30. But we went to a Korean barbecue and we went out for dessert, and it was so much fun just to have that time without the kids and with people who
like-minded,
who are like-minded, who have the same sort of things going on in their life that we do.
Yeah, it was quite fun.
Yeah.
We all had a good time.
Yeah. All right. I'm sure there's a lot of other cons as well. There's a lot of things that public schools offer that you can't do as a homeschooler, but most of the things you can do as a homeschooler. You can do field trips with people. There's lots of groups going on, lots of places to hang out and get together and learn in classes. All right, Lily, want to get the next one? Oh, so you got the first one.
Why do you all...
No. Do you do all your curriculum work every day? No, we don't. Just being honest, we don't get everything done every day.
No.
What are the things that we do every day, Oren?
Math, language arts, writing.
Yeah, maths, language arts and writing get done every day without fail pretty much. But things like history and science, those things those are the first things that are going to get dropped when we have like craziness going on. But they do usually get done several times a week. But I find that things like that, they also get done in like everyday life. Like when we're out visiting museums and zoos and things, we get to use part of that sort of stuff there. All right, next one, Oren. What does it say?
What preschool
prerequisites? Sorry, it's really easy.
prerequisites do you need to be a successful homeschooler? What
prerequisites do you need to be a successful homeschooler?
I think one thing you need to be is fairly well organised. It takes a bit of effort to get started, I guess, to find a curriculum, find the things that you're going to plan to teach the kids.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think ultimately, though, the best thing that is going to make you a successful homeschooler is just loving your kids and having their best interests at heart and having that desire to teach them and to give them all the opportunities that you can. And if you can do that, if you are willing to do that, you'll be successful no matter, what you do.
You may also need patience.
And a little bit of patience goes a long, long way, especially if you're teaching kids how to read. All right. Daddy, you want to get the next one?
Mm-hmm. What's your favourite thing about homeschooling?
Oh, we kind of already talked about that, didn't we?
A little bit, yeah. You guys already told us what you liked the most.
Yeah. Spending lots of time together and being able to go at your own pace. But yeah, we've already kind of talked about that one.
Doing fun activities.
Fun activities, yeah. Right. What subjects do you teach? We teach all the main subjects, so we do maths, English, or reading, language arts, what do you want to call it? Writing, handwriting, history, science, geography, art, music. They also do Japanese class. We outsource that.
One of the other
homeschool mums teaches them Japanese. They've done choir.
Lily did.
Yeah, Lily, or I did choir too. We teach all the basic subjects that you would expect a child to learn at school. The Victorian requirements in our state is there are 7 areas that you need to teach, and they're just all the basic areas that you would expect. So we teach all of those.
Do you worry about not being able to teach them everything?
No, I don't worry about not being able to teach them everything because you can't teach them everything. It's impossible.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of things they'll learn on their own, and over time they'll just pick up things here and there as well. But the main important things like maths and reading and writing, we teach all the important things. And
I think I have 2 main goals as a homeschool parent. The first one is to develop in them a love of learning. If they have a love of learning, it's going to take them a long way. They're going to want to learn, they're going to seek out knowledge, and that will, that's where they're going to learn. And the second one is to teach them how to learn. If they know how to learn and they have that desire to learn, the world is their oyster and they can go however far they really want to go. Mm-hmm. You don't need to spoon feed them every little bit of information. They are quite capable of going and finding the information for themselves and learning for themselves. Yeah. So you can't teach your kids everything, so don't even try. You got one, Oren?
How do you make friends?
How do you make friends, Oren? Because people think that homeschool kids don't know how to make friends or they don't have friends.
They are wrong.
Yeah. So how do you make friends, Oren?
We go to church.
Yeah.
Me and Lily and Evan usually go to a park together, and if there's someone else there, we usually make friends with them.
Yep. So they can make friends everywhere. Lily, how do you make friends?
Well, usually I just see people and ask them if they want to be friends. That's it.
Yep, so pretty basic. If you see somebody who you want to play with and you ask them, do you want to be friends? Let's play.
They're pretty, I don't know, they're not shy.
They're not shy.
They're not introverted. But yeah, obviously there are other opportunities that we give them to make friends, and that's, I guess, through having homeschool groups,
Yep.
which is really good. So there's a lot of Facebook, I guess, groups that you can find, or anywhere else you can find groups of like-minded people. So there's a few different homeschooling groups that our kids have been a part of, and they've made friends through there.
Yep. And they're really good, solid friendships that they have. Yeah, they see them multiple times a week, and they are definitely some of their best friends that they have.
Yeah. So they also get to know, I guess, the parents as well as the kids. So they get a bit of interaction between adults as well.
Yeah.
So they're not shy around adults talking and, you know, communicating with grown-ups.
I think one of the things that lots of people say when they meet our kids, when they find out that they're homeschoolers, almost every time actually, they say, "Well, your kids are not like shy; they're so well socialized." And I think that's the socialization thing is one of the biggest misconceptions about homeschool. That if you are homeschooled, that you are socially awkward and social misfits, which is not what we have found to be the case at all. All right. How do you plan? I buy a curriculum, and it says how many lessons there are. Like each curriculum has a amount of lessons, and I divide that up, and I decide how far I want to get at each point in the year. So the kids' maths curriculum, I've divided up into 4, and once they reach 32 lessons, they're a quarter of the way through the curriculum, and I say I want to be finished 32 lessons by the end of March. Lily and Ammon have finished their 32 lessons, so they're ahead, and Oren's got at lesson 29, I think.
No, lesson 30.
Oh, lesson 30, so yeah, he's only got 2 more lessons, and then he'll be finished for the first quarter, so that way I keep on track for the rest of the year. Oh, other way.
What curriculum do you use? The good and beautiful.
We use the good and the beautiful curriculum for pretty much everything. Apart from these 2, because their grade levels aren't available in maths, they use teaching textbooks for their maths, and Ammon is in kindergarten just learning to read, and I use All About Reading for him. So yeah, that's what we use.
What is it? What's your one?
How
long does it take each day?
Definitely varies from day to day.
Yep.
Some days when you're on a roll, right guys, you can get it all done in maybe 2 hours, maybe 2.5 hours. Other days when we're distracted and
having issues, mucking around.
It can take quite
all
a long time.
day.
All the way up to almost dinner time.
Yeah, there have been times where it has been dinner time and they're still doing schoolwork because they've been mucking around all day. Yep. So it depends. On a good day, and I'd say on average it takes about 2 hours to get everything done.
And we don't even go anywhere fun.
Yeah, if they are mucking around, no time to go anywhere fun, is there?
No time. Yeah.
Yeah. You'd think they would learn that lesson, but obviously not. Alright. Lily.
Do we follow the NZ or New Zealand or...
Do we follow the New Zealand or the Australian education system? We follow the Australian education system because that's where we live. We are from New Zealand, but we live in Australia, so that's the curriculum we follow.
Do you have the same hours at school?
No.
Nope.
We do less hours. We usually finished, if we start in the morning, we'll be finished by lunch. If we start after Anahi goes to work, we'll be finished by about 3:30. Yeah. Right. Oren, you got one?
How do you do it with a toddler? How do you do it with a toddler?
Yeah, we have a toddler. It's not easy, and it's definitely a trial in my life.
He's definitely distracting a lot of the time.
Sometimes I will put him down for a nap. So if the kids have something that we really need to concentrate hard on, I'll put him down for a nap. But usually I give him something fun to do, like Play-Doh, or he likes to draw on the whiteboard. And if he is sitting at the table with us and thinking that he's involved doing something, he is a lot easier. But a lot of the time he just makes a mess while I can't be supervising him as closely. Yeah, it's hard.
Do you plan out holidays and breaks?
Kinda, but not really. We take breaks when I feel like we need breaks. I haven't scheduled breaks. I just take them when we are feeling a bit burnt out and that we need to have a break. As for holidays, we generally have a time when we take holidays. So I kind of plan around there. We were supposed to be taking a holiday in September to the States, but I don't know what is going to happen with that anymore. But we'll probably take a holiday around then anyway.
Maybe a cruise.
Maybe a cruise.
We'll see what happens with the coronavirus.
Yeah. You want to go next?
Yeah. What do your family and friends think?
There's definitely a wide range of opinions. My mum is always well impressed with Candice and the efforts that she goes to teach the kids and post things online, and she loves seeing all that stuff, and she's always been very impressed by that. Some other family members have been a bit concerned, I guess, especially when we just started.
Yeah.
I weren't sure if we were making the great decision, but we did it anyway, and it's turned out to be very well. So I think most of our family and friends
are pretty supportive now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know my mum at the start, she wasn't outright unsupportive, but I think she thought maybe it was just a phase, because every time she'd come to visit and would drive past a school, she'd say, "Oh, do you think that's the school that you're going to send them to?" But she stopped saying that now, so I guess she's kind of given up, and she knows how well the kids are doing, so I think she's pretty supportive now of what we're doing. Usually the people who are unsupportive are people that you meet in the supermarket or at the checkouts who wonder why the kids aren't in school. But usually when you're doing something that is not the norm, people are always going to sort of second guess you and wonder what you're doing. But ultimately it's your family and you get to raise them however you want. I don't really care what people think. Right, is that the last question, Lily?
Yep. What grades
Are you teaching?
are you teaching?
Yeah. We are teaching at the moment. I have a kindergartner who's is his first year of school. He is 5. Lily is grade 2 and grade 3. Because the kids go at their own pace, they are well ahead of their actual grade levels. So they're doing multiple grades per year. So for her age, Lily is grade 2, but the majority of her work is grade 3 work. And some of it is she's almost up to grade 4 maths, because maths is her best subject, and you just love it, don't you, Lily?
Yes.
Who would have thought?
So yeah, she's almost 2 grade levels ahead in maths, which is great, Lily?
Yes.
Yeah, and she's also an amazing baker. That's what you want to be when you grow up, isn't it? So she always does lots of baking.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see, but she's got recipes up on the board behind us. And Oren is grade 4 and grade 5. He's a very young, for his age, he's a very young grade 4 based on his age, but most of his work is grade 4 and grade 5. So we do multiple grades per year. At the rate that they're going, they will both finish high school by the time they're 15. Alright, so that's the end of our homeschooling Q and A today. The kids have been super excited to be a part of a video. And I hope they answered all the questions that you have. If you have more questions, feel free to ask us, because we're pretty open books about it now.
Hope you enjoyed the video today, and look forward to seeing you next time.
Yeah, we might do a cooking video later in the week, Lily?
Yay! Or maybe a math video.
Or maybe a math video.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Don't forget to
Like, comment, subscribe.
Alright, we'll see you next week. Bye!
Bye.
Bye.
And remember to ring the bell.